We are closer than brothers, but now we have to fight each other, no matter what. Anyone know what that song is? It's from Yu-Gi-Oh! When Yugi and Joey have to face each other, because these are two of my best trading card buds. On the left here, we have got Ghoul02, Mr. Daniel himself, and on the right, we have HoodsClaw, Mr. Alex himself, and they are playing a Cure Series matchup, and of course, I just had to cast it because I genuinely appreciate and cherish these two gentlemen. The three of us are no strangers to each other. The three of us have all watched and fought each other over and over and over again. So let's get into it. I know Hoods started us off, went first. Looks like he pitched an Izana and a Lulu for a Chocobo and a Chocolate. So yeah, didn't value that Izana as much, thinking, well, I've already got two Chocobos to put down. I'm assuming he's probably playing Mono Wind. He's going to tap one, put out Zidane. Ooh, good way to start. On Daniel's side, he just put out pitched a Tomos for a Tomos. He is on looking like his classic Earth Wind. What do we have? Null, Typhon, Rydia, Tyro, and Shadowlord. Probably the Rydia, I'm thinking. He's not going to bother to Typhon the Zidane, especially on no backups. Yeah, not the greatest start. He must have mulliganed, and he would much rather start with like a Norstalen or something. But you could argue you could do Tyro, but I don't think there's any crazy forward he wants to go get. Especially, both of these decks want to be on a bunch of backups. So Zidane is going to snipe that Rydia. Pretty darn big move for HoodsClaw, because Ghoul, with a bad start enough as is already, and then taking out the backup that would have cost him less to play. Pitch a Shadowlord and Chocobo. Is there a fifth one for Tyro? You bet your bottom dollar there is. What do we get out of this, if anything? Not that we're like in a huge situation, but is there any forward we can get that gets us a backup? I don't think he runs Izana. If he does, I don't even know if he has any Chocobo backups. He might run something like Chocolate. Rosa probably isn't. Yeah, I was just thinking Rosa isn't terrible. It does let you kind of start off your Atomos chains if you get to that point. Alex will go ahead and attack, and Daniel will hit a Tyro. That feels pretty good. Put one on the bottom, and then, hey, let's just get another freebie. Luckily, again, it's not like there's a super punishing forward to get here, but still, he'll just appreciate a card draw, especially when he gets to pick what it is. I'm sure HoodsClaw is going grumble, grumble, grumble. Lock's pretty nice. We're nowhere near the ability to play it yet, but Hoods is going to get rid of 5. Put out Bismarck. Interesting. So both of these late game control decks really aren't seeing what they want to see. They're both having to go in on heavy backups or just kind of awkward forwards. Now Bismarck does bounce the Zidane back, threatening to take the best thing out of Daniel's hand on the next turn. So with no backups, I do like this from Hoods. He also left the Chocolate up so he can tap that to get a counter. Typhon would actually, it's probably worth it to Typhon the Bismarck here if you're Daniel. It kind of sucks if you have no other backups. But if he can get a backup, he can also trigger off the Tomos. Nope, just not going to get there yet. But yeah, he's like, I've got to deal with that. I've got to deal with that Bismarck. He doesn't want it to just sit there getting free value. Granted, when your board is this tiny, it's going to cost him to keep, getting stuff. But nonetheless, plays the Typhon. That's all he's got. Hoods will get a Chocolate counter. Let's see if I can go throughout this entire video and properly refer to them as Hoods/Alex and Ghoul/Daniel, because when we're in our trifecta, I mess it up all the time. There we go. There is the first Norstalen that I'm sure both players would love to see. Hoods will go dig for really anything he wants. He could get a Stealth Skin if he wanted to follow up with a Luso on the next turn. Personally, I like Althea. I think that card's just too valuable to not have. Yep. Sets you up pretty well for your next turn as well. I'm assuming he's probably going to pass here. I guess he could play the Zidane if he really, really wants to potentially stop, but Daniel's just not in a great spot either, so. Mono Wind definitely looking stronger at the moment with such a slow start from... Haha, Daniel says, though, I shall get my Althea down first. Althea reactivates the Tyro. We're going to put out Rosa. All right, now we're starting. Atomos is going to give us back 2 backups. If we could do another backup, this is going to feel good. Oh, hey, that works. So Kryl is going to go ahead and not remove, I don't know what you'd call it. Put a summon in the void or the temporary space And, of course, this is the third cast as well. So, yeah, Rose is going to trigger, reactivate. I'm not 100% sure which summon. Looks like he picked HoodsClaw's Asura. That's going to feel pretty good. And we might be getting to a 5th Rosa cast here with that Asura. I mean, I'll tell you what, this Kryl, while I still like this card, it seems so weak compared to Man in Black. There we go. Okay. So, trigger 4. Here comes Lock. Did we cast the Asura? I think we did. I don't know if he got something back with it or if he just like did it and reactivated the backups. But yep, Lock's going to go ahead and take out 2 backups. And we'll discard a card. Feels pretty dark. Oh my goodness. Oh man, and the Rosa trigger finally hits. I have seen this man whiff on this Rosa trigger so many times because this deck has summons and it just has all, usually when he's casting it, he's already got such a full board. There's just nothing he can reveal that isn't already on the field. But here he says, oh, I too will get a Norstalen, sir, and I'm going to do it my way. Norstalen for free, get a Fiona. I thought Daniel was hurting, but he just turned it around on that turn. Now, the good news for Hoods is I'm pretty sure that was Ghoul's entire hand. Unless I'm missing something on his playmat, I'm pretty sure Fiona is now the only card in his hand. So Alex does have free reign to do whatever the heck he wants. However, he's also down 2 backups and a card. So what will he do? Hoods goes for Zidane to rip that Fiona out of his hand. Interesting. He had enough to do both Althea and Zidane. Get his Althea online. Now, granted, it would have cost him a hefty chunk from his hand, so maybe knowing Daniel is top decking right now, maybe he just really values having the bigger hand size. This Zidane will be a 7k no matter what. Mira, do we have a 1-cost monster? You bet your butt we do. It's a Tomos. Gosh, so much free reactivation. Or it's not a Tomos, Ochu is what I meant to say. I was looking at a Tomos when I said it. Yep, going to go ahead and use Kryls, or no, maybe not. He's like, what do you got in there? Looks like we might not have anything on Hoods' turn. We could just reserve, unlike Man in Black though, again, this doesn't just reserve it permanently. Yep, okay, I see what we're doing. We're starting the chain. So he's going to Chocobo, presumably the Lock. Yep, and that is the 2nd cast, so Atomos will reactivate too. If we have something else to play, we can get the 3rd cast for the Rosa, but we can also just play the Rock. Yeah. If you smell what the Lock is cooking. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Lock the Rock. I like that. Yep, we're going to do it. We'll pitch the extra Norstalen we have. Lock's going to Dull Freeze another 2. We're going to have to throw another card out from Hoods' hand. We will get our backups back off the Rosa. Don't really have anything to use it on right now, but who cares? And Mono Wind is, man, this Earth-Wind combo with the Lock just comes out of nowhere. And time for some combat. Presumably, who all can attack here? Rosa and Mira? No, Mira came out this turn, I believe. So he could attack with Rosa. Granted, Zidane is a 7k, so you probably don't want to lose your Rosa for that. Hoods is still trying to find a way. He might need to bite the bullet on that Althea. Like, yeah, it can potentially just get Dull Frozen over and over again, but if we could get our own Atomos Rosa chain here, we could wipe this board with a Luso, but I just don't know if we have the resources for that, especially with 2 of our backups down. So is this the Althea? Yep, there she is. We'll get back the Chocolate. He's got 2 left in hand. He's going to just use the Chocolate, draw a card, try to keep his hand healthy. Now, again, he hasn't taken any damage, so he's not really in a rush. Maybe this is the right call, too. Just take it slow. Try to keep building your backup advantage. He expended, again, Kryl's not Man in Black, so that Chocobo's gone for good. So he will have to draw away. But he's got the Althea up, too, is the only issue, is that so he can keep bouncing the Lock. Granted, it'll hurt his own resources a little bit, since he'll keep using a backup and have to use resources to replay it. But with Rosa and Atomos, I don't know, do you even care about that? And the Lock is just so punishing. Getting to play this card turn after turn after turn is just brutal. All right, we cast Kusith to get back Fiona. Then we tapped Althea for the win CP and pitched the Shantoto in our hand to cast Fiona. As our second cast, Atomos will give us 2 back, which means we're probably looking for cryo targets. I'm guessing Hoods might be out of that now. It's Asura, and since this will be the third cast, presumably he's going to use it to take back a 2-cost character. It's crazy to me how much text that Asura card has for being an Opus 2 card. Yep, so he's going to get his own Luso. He says, you think you can Luso, sir? I'm going to Luso. Now we get back all 4 backups thanks to Rosa. We can drop that Luso if we want, draw a card. Look at the size of this board. And we're happy to throw out Shantoto. Again, what are we going to board wipe? I wonder if he's going to start attacking or if he just feels fine to just start building power. Our Typhon is online now. Typhon is a monster. We'll see if he remembers that. But he's also... Does he have 3 in hand to make the Zidane? No, it looks like he's still got 2. So Zidane is a 7k, so Zidane will trade with something like a Rosa, but the Lock and the Typhon can absolutely get in. We're just going to play Luso, draw a card. You could even swing out and do something like an Althea play to shrink the Zidane size. Or you can just Althea back this Lock right now and cast Lock again. Yep, so we're going to go to combat. He thought about bouncing the Lock. That will give Hoods a card draw, but I don't think that's terrible, but it could matter. We're going to attempt to bounce back the Lock. Yep, that's good. Do we replay the Althea first? If we do, we'll get the Rosa cast. I don't know if we could hit at this point. Yep, there's Althea. Reactivate. Here comes Lock again. It's the 5th Rosa cast. It's the 5th Rosa cast. Actually, no, sorry. Althea is the 5th Rosa cast. We might even need to replay Lock. Hey, free Tilica. We'll take that. Man, Rosa is just putting this game on ice, metaphorically, for our opponent. Here comes Lock. We're going to lose Althea. We're going to lose Chocolate. And another card from hand. I mean, it's mono wind, and I don't count it out, but this Lock play over and over is just brutal. After much deliberation, Hoods decides to pitch Pavlov to go in on his own Rosa. Casting Asura. Going to reactivate all his backups. Nice. He knows that Daniel only has 1 card in hand, so he should have free reign to pretty much do whatever he wants. Question is, what can we follow this up with? Rosa, of course, will get us everything back on our next cast. We really need a board wipe here. There's Lulu. That's not bad. So we'll get back to Asura. That's the 3rd cast for Rosa. Yep, reactivate everything. Can we get to a Luso trigger? If we can get to a Luso trigger, we can knock this entire board out. There's our own Typhon. Okay. If we can't get to Luso, this is definitely the next best thing. Yeah, we're going to send Lock packing. I say if we could get to Luso, it's actually almost a shame because you could just kill the board anyway. But we might not have enough to get to Luso. Does he have it in hand? Does he think... Well, no, it's Asura, right? We know it's Asura. Yep, so we're going to cast Asura. So this is our 5 cast. So will Hoods have the luck that Daniel has had? Hey, no, okay. Backup for backup, right? He's like, all right. Chocobo Sam. Oh, my goodness. And if he can get the Chocobo summon... Oh, man. Folks, if you like shenanigans, we have just entered shenanigans territory. I mean, that's just arguably the best thing he could have hit, right? Now we can pull back probably Lulu. If there's a Luso in our break zone, we can wipe this board. Hopefully he remembered to name his Lulu trigger too when he cast the summon. Or no, Lock's already gone actually, so nothing else actually matters. Cast the Chocobo, bring back Zidane. Interesting, maybe he doesn't have Luso in his break zone. I thought maybe he would Luso back Lulu. Replay Zidane. Gonna discard the Iris from hand. Oh, that's it. We didn't have the Luso. Damn. Still, he made a nice board. He's got his own Rosa. The Lock is dealt with for the moment. Lock's still 3 cards buried deep into the deck. So it'll really depend on what we top deck. I thought he threw away Luso earlier. Maybe I'm getting confused because Daniel also has Luso in his field. So maybe Alex never had it, but I was thinking he was going to Chocobo back the Lulu to replay to get a Surrogin to get back Luso. But he also, maybe he didn't quite have enough CP for all that. I'm not sure. Either way, that's what he was able to do. This turn will probably really be highly dependent on what Daniel was able to draw. Probably asking for summons. Yep, we do have 2 Asura. We've got Chocobo in there. Man, this not quite a mirror match, of course, because it's mono wind, not wind earth. But Alex is running all of the summons Daniel is running. So for Daniel, this is like, oh, this is excellent. My Cryo just gets to keep plundering and plundering summons. And I can just use yours. I don't even have to use up mine. Whoops. Looks like we're casting Chocobo on Cryo. Yep, so Cryo will come back to our hand. That was the first cast. Play Cryo. Oh, we must have Tillicud, so everything's 1 cheaper. Yep, Atomos is going to reactivate 2. We're going to take either the next Chocobo or an Asura. We cast Chocobo for the 3rd time, or cast Chocobo from Hoods, bounce Cryo back to our hand. That is the 3rd cast for Rosa. God, this whole casting mechanic, the fact that it just sees summons as well as the characters, it's, my goodness. It just allows decks like these to explode out of nowhere, and it turns out that Tyro ended up being incredibly relevant because not only did we get the lock on that play, it let us, we had to dump our whole hand for that following play, I'm pretty sure, so without the Tyro, I mean, I just don't know if that would have even been possible. So we're up to 3 casts. We need a cast counter. We need like a ding, 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 ding. Here comes Cryo again. Poor HoodsClaw. He's just like, I guess I'm never going to use these summons. This is going to be the 3rd summon Cryo has taken this turn. Which is just absurd. Absurd. Oh, and there's Bismarck. It's a 5th cast for Rosa. Oh, and it was lock, yeah, because that's where we put it. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, that's the old scoop. Scoop-ma-goop. Wow. There was a moment there near the beginning where I thought, oh, Daniel's got a rough start. This is going to go so well for him, and he just exploded on that turn and never looked back. I mean, Hood tried to pull something together, but just wasn't enough. So there you go. If you like Earthwind shenanigans, we just got that. So let's see who wins round 2. All right, folks, we are back for game 2. HoodsClaw started us off again. This time, no backups, but he did get turn 1 Atomos, which, I mean, isn't a great play, right? But it's also not terrible. It's a card you want to get down. It kind of just sets you up for future backup stuff, so there are worse things you could do. However, this time, Daniel opened exactly what he wanted with a Nordstalin, pitched a Mist Dragon, and I'm not sure what that first card was. Gets his Althea. He's ready to start building the nice and fair way. Question is, can HoodsClaw answer? Pitching for Althea. Oh, no. Oh, and we pitched 2 Chocobos already, too, which not only does it suck to have to get rid of that summon. Yeah, we have ways to recur it, but we're just opening it up for Daniel to drop his Cryo and start feeding off of those. So presumably Althea is coming down here. Man, that's unfortunate. I'm assuming Alex mulliganed and just had a crap hand. Well, you know, that's still one way mono wind. You know, it's the ultimate inevitability deck, but it hey, if it bricks, if it doesn't draw its setup, it needs its setup. I know that pain all too well. So we do put out a Tomos. I'm guessing we're going to follow up with Althea? Which isn't awful, but we won't really get the big, like, Atomos Althea turn where you can get 3 backups reactivated. Okay. Interesting. So we're going to play the Tillicud. We've got our Earth CP. So we've got those 2 up. We could still play Althea here. We're still not 100. Maybe we just wait a turn. Yeah, I don't know if you need to say your color fix now, and that's got to feel good. He's asking about his summons. Yeah. 2 Chocobo and an Alexander. So I wonder if he's contemplating putting out Cryo. Or maybe he's contemplating the Althea, because he could still use... No, he is going to Cryo, yep. Says, all right, don't mind if I do. Take the Alexander. And he's going to spend the lock to cast it. Interesting. Is that the 4th? Oh, that's why it was the 4th cast, because Cryo was the 3rd cast. Yep. So we got. I was going to say, I don't know if that's worth it if he's just drawing a single card, but he draws 2 off of it, so that's probably most definitely worth it. Daniel's got to feel good about his position. Both our fighters have their Atomos out, but Daniel's already color fixed. He's got Tilica out too, so he's ready to do some reduction shenanigans should it call for it, and we know he's still got Althea in hand. Which, granted, a Zidane here could stop the Althea, and that would be pretty huge. We saw how much damage that did last round with Althea lock. Just Althea lock, Althea lock, Althea lock. Just over and over again. Chocomog. There's Typhon. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you get that cryo value this game. Off she goes. Man, some kind of on-curve, an even cost of backup would feel very good here. There's Bismarck. Pavlov. Yeah, there we go. The Pavlov trigger gets a little wasted, but we get both our backups, which we want. And there's Ash. Okay, that's really not bad. We've got forward. We're going to draw a card at the end of the turn for Ash. Not terrible. Would have been awesome, again, to see something like a Zidane to rip out that Althea, but that is, considering what we had in hand, it's probably the best we could have done. Maybe you could have gone in on the Bismarck, but again, you need to get your backup set up. Bismarck's only so useful when there's no cards to return. Spiritomos, there's Althea. Go ahead and get back Norstalin. We have another follow-up. Prish. Ooh, that's pretty good. Prish is going to break our opponent's Atomos. Oh, man. I don't think we have anything like that in Wind. That's the benefit of dipping into the Earth packages. You get those weird off cards like Prish. And we get our Atomos reactivation. Yeah, I don't think he needs to push anything here. That's huge. Denying our opponent Atomos. We can get that back with something like Asura. But still, we were definitely counting on that. Hoods feels pretty confident. Yep, it looks like he had one Norstalin left after the Ash draw, or he just drew double Norstalin for turn. Either way, he's going to get his Stiltskin. Stiltskin will get us Luso. We're almost to 5 backups. We're getting there. And how big is Prish? I believe Prish is 7,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we had one more character, Ash would be 6, but I don't think you really want to trade the Ash for the Prish has already done its job. I don't think he cares if it dies at this point. Probably attempts to pass. Looks like we're going to Chocobo before I saw Tyro, Tilica. I can't. Norstalin. So we probably want. Or no, it's Kryl. He's like, well, definitely not Norstalin. He's trying to debate between Kryl and Tyro. I mean, in theory, yeah, Tyro, you can just go get Kryl, or you can get Locke or Rosa. I do like the Tyro choice there. And again, it's not like you're under any pressure. I don't think you need any desperate, oh, I've got a Kryl right now kind of play. Again, this deck wants to set up to 5 backups as well. We will move to combat. Prish will go in swinging. Take a nice Asura right off the top of Alex's deck. If he was counting on those summons this game, yeah, he's looking. He's like, geez, you've already removed the Alexander. I've got 2 Chocobos in there, Chocomog, and an Asura. So these summons are not going to be useful to him this game. All right, we played down Kryl. I believe we used our opponent's Asura. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I thought we did. Or maybe we used our own Chocobo because we just cast it. Revealed 3. I apologize. I did not get to see what those 3 were. All right. Looks like Daniel played down Tyro. I'm not 100% sure what he fetched out. Pass back to HoodsClaw. Puts down the Stiltskin. You'll have to forgive me a bit, folks. It's late, and I am tired. I started a new job this week, so I'm a bit worn out from that. So I apologize if I'm missing a thing or two here. But I'm also just trying to make the nice edits to make it nice and enjoyable on the rewatch. So I'm not sure what he searched out with the Tyro, but I know we got it down. And I'm pretty sure we'd activate the Tilica because it looks like he just paid 4 for it. Stiltskin is going to get us out our Luso. Of course, we don't have any backups active currently, so we can't really do Luso things at the moment. However, Ash's ability is online now. So Ash is a 7,000 power forward, as is the Typhon. We could risk attacking. Of course, we might just hit our opponent's EX burst. That's no good. So nope, we're just going to pass back after that. Hoods is more than happy to just take a moment and try to build up, get some of his advantage. We are activating Tilica. Fiona for 1. Did we already swing with the Prish, or did we just forget to reactivate it? Null for... Okay, Null's going to be the second cast. We'll get back to backups. Null does not have haste, of course. But it is presenting the threat of, well, if you don't do anything about this card, I'm going to start doing some unfun things for you. All right, Daniel's just going to pass back there. He played the Null. It seemed like he was debating on whether he wanted to go deeper or not. Now, the nice thing for Hoods is that despite all the like summons he's lost early and all that, Daniel is giving him a chance to set up and get into this game. He doesn't have lock this game. He's not just sitting there hitting him with lock and Althea every turn. Turns out it's quite a bit harder when you don't have Rose on the board, just giving you free reactivations. So he while he has, you know, a fine board and that Null is going to threaten something next turn, or potentially the turn after that, he is giving Hoods the chance to, okay, this is your, you know, build up your backups, answer this board, do what you got to do, because once that lock starts coming down, that could definitely tilt it in Daniel's favor. A Bismarck would be great here. We definitely would love to see our fifth backup. Another Atomo somehow, our own Rosa, anything. We're going to cast Chocobo on the Typhon, get it back to our hand, and draw a card. Presumably Typhon's coming down again. Oh, okay, nice, Rosa. So now we can Typhon and we'll get all of our backups back. Or we can cast an Asura as well. Ah, Luso, very nice, even better. So this will be our third cast. Luso will attempt to draw us a card, reactivate all of our backups. That is good. Now we're ready to Typhon. If we can get another one after that, you obviously you don't touch the Prish. There's no point in doing that. So you're gonna do Null and Kryl. Null or Kryl. Yeah, do them both. Typhon. Oh, nice. Y'shtola first. Okay. So that's cast number 4. Man, it'd be amazing if we could do cast number 5 without the Typhon and just flip one off the top. But that's asking a lot. Oh, okay. Asura. Very nice. So presumably we're going to reactivate our backups. He's asking, would you like to respond to this? This is still the 5th cast, so we will still get the Rosa reveal regardless. Unless he has Amaterasu in there, but I'm almost positive he doesn't. Yep. So we'll activate everything. 5th cast for Rosa. It's low. It's Luso. We already got Luso on the field. No luck this time. He's going to attempt to return Luso to his hand. Looks like he's going for the 7 cast board wipe. So that was 5. So now you just play. Yeah. So legit with just your backups. Play Althea, reactivate one. That's number 6. Here comes Luso. And just, I mean, I guess he just takes that big club thing he's got and goes ka-chonk, ka-chonk, ka-chonk. Or maybe he like throws it in like a boomerang and just hits everybody. But that's 7 casts. So we are saying goodbye to Null, Prish, and Kryl. Yeah, why play Typhon and send one of them back into the deck that he'll potentially draw later when you can just knock out the whole board? And the nice thing is, too, we're also threatening to... We're going to draw a card off this. Even if he, like... I can't imagine how he could possibly cancel this. He's looking for a summon. Which, I mean, even if he casts it, we can always Y'shtola it. I don't really know... Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how he would... Maybe he's just trying to get value off of it before he loses it. It depends what he has in his break zone. He could use the Asura to recover something, but... I mean, he just has open CP right now, so unless he really wanted to, like, Fiona search, he doesn't really have a... He doesn't like that he has to use... Oh, okay, he's going to try to save the Kryl. Yeah, and I doubt Hoods has a way to cancel this, so Kryl is going to survive. I guess if we have Chocomog on top, that's probably the one way we could do it. Yep, Kryl will survive, those two will die. Should still draw for Luso. And at some point, the question is, yeah, when do we start doing damage? All right, before he passed turn, Daniel did attempt to Misdragon his break zone, but Hoods went ahead and canceled that with Y'shtola. He wanted to keep it protected. Passed and presumably drew for the Ash at the end of the turn. All right. Here comes Rosa. It looks like we played... we replayed the Althea, probably Telekut as well. So Atomos are going to give us back 2 backups. Rosa's about to give us back a 3rd. All right, third cast for Rosa. We are playing Kryl. I'm not sure which summon we target. It looks like that Chocobo. We did actually drop a hand trap Fina from hand. Said, nope, we're going to cancel an auto ability coming from a forward. So presumably what we canceled was the Rosa reactivation, which Daniel relies oh so heavily on. It's easy to forget about that Fina card. At least I frickin' forgot about it. Yep, so that just put an end right there to everything he wanted to do. He was anticipating getting to dig further. Man, neither of these players are attacking, and I get it. That's like Wind and Wind's Earth's thing, is they just kind of sit there. But at some point, someone's going to have to attack, unless we're just planning to go to deck out. With the way these decks draw, I don't know who would come on top of that or not. And because we didn't use that Chocobo summon that Kryl targeted, it actually goes right back to the break zone. It's not like Man in Black where it just keeps it permanently removed. You have to use it the turn you target it for Kryl's, enchantment or casting or summoning, whatever you want to call it. So that'll go back to the break zone. Speaking of Chocobos, we play our fifth backup on HoodsClaw's side. It's Mr. Chocobo himself. I don't think we'll ever use this thing's effect. I don't even remember what it does. Something with party attack? Something with Chocobos? It's just there because it can be searched out, and hey, it's a nice, easy 2-cost backup. Okay, I mean, we're set. We've done Luso things. So unless we're going to try to redo Luso things, what do we do now is the question. Here comes Lulu. Hey, he's like, yeah, let me get a summon back so I can try to do more Luso things. It will be the Chocobo. So that'll be the second cast for us. We've cast... Yep, we'll pitch a Luso. Try to get back a Luso. Luso. Reminds me of this old commercial. That's cast 3, by the way. So we'll draw a card, and Rosa will reactivate all of our backups. It reminds me of this skit Jellyfish Guy and I came up with once. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it was about backups, and we use it. Backups. And I just think of that Luso. Luso. Never enough Luso. We dulled the Fiona, it looks like. I'm not 100% sure what we were doing there. Did we forget something? We were casting this other Chocobo. Man, so many Chocobos in this deck. We can get one of 2 Bismarcks or Zidane. He is going to go for the Bismarck. Try to put pressure on. This was the 4th cast, I believe. Yes, I believe that was a 4th cast. So we could Luso. Good God, the amount of cards this deck draws. Okay, we're going to Bismarck. Maybe we'll flip another Luso off the top. We actually discarded the Luso. Bismarck, that's our 5th cast. Rosa's going to attempt to... I mean, what else do we even have left to slam at this point? A Typhon? Oh, I bet we used the Rosa ability. It's Fina! Yeah, I think... Is it mandatory, or does she have to get played? It must not be mandatory, because he didn't do it. So here comes Luso. This will be the 6th cast. Will let us draw a card. We'll draw into that Fina. Our hand is now set. Presumably, I think what he did with that CP2 is, I'm assuming Rosa was probably getting targeted by Lulu, and he's saying, no, she can't be targeted this turn due to abilities. So we can kill the Kryl with the Bismarck ping. We can honestly just start attacking. We can... Yep. So we're just going to get rid of that Kryl. We could swing the Rosa. I almost wonder if you do, because I don't think he's going to block with Rosa here. I don't think he's going to give up his Rosa. Of course, you would argue you're also giving up your own Rosa. We're going to the end of it. We're bouncing Lulu with Bismarck, and then we're going to draw for Ash, and then we're going to draw for Bismarck. We're going to end our turn with so many cards in hand, and no one's even attacking. Oh, man. Hoods, Daniel, when you watch this later, because I know you will, just answer me this. Is this fun? Is this fun? Do people enjoy this? Like, a lot of stuff's happening. I'll give you that. There's a lot of things going on. There are intricate, complicated turns. I cannot deny that. I cannot deny what my eyes see. But the question is it fun? No one's attacking each other. We're just all playing solitaire with ourselves. And if our solitaire happens to affect our opponent, cool, a bonus. But whatever. We will bring down Typhon, presumably targeting Bismarck. We can't target Ash. Rosa kind of seems like a poor target, as does Luso. I feel like Bismarck's the biggest threat there. Now, Typhon is a forward right now, so we can cancel this with Fina. We can say nope. Of course, then we're not saving the Fina for something potentially worse. So he's going to double ping, presumably Rosa. I don't think he even necessarily has, but he wants to try to bait out, like, hey, you need to use this power right now. Yep, so it will be Bismarck. Probably the right call there. It sucks to lose the Bismarck, but you don't want to... Yeah, you need to save Fina in case it's something worse. There's a Zana. Ooh, but we might be gearing up for something like a Shantoto here. Casting Chocobo on Typhon. That will be the second cast. Activate 2 with Atomos. He's like, okay, what order do I do this in? A lock would be solid here. Again, we can just Fina it, unfortunately, but we've also got Althea. Yeah, because even if he Fina's the first lock, Rosa's going to give us back all of our backups. We could just Althea lock again. There's a lock. Yep. This is the third cast. Oh, we had Tilica, so it was only 3. He says, yeah. Let's go ahead and stop that. Again, though, but we do get the Rosa, unless we've got another Fina in hand. Rosa's going to, and I think we, at that point, just Althea lock. And we actually have enough. We can Althea the lock back, play Althea off the Northstall and Telica, and then just play lock off of Fiona Tyro. %, what he's going for. Of course, this will be the 5th cast as well, so Rosa could potentially put something on our board. All right, now this is what doomed HoodsClaw last time, so let's see if the lock is the difference. Oh, yeah, and Althea's going to give us one back, too. Oh, win so busted! Here we go, lock and Rosa. Ooh, we got that Althea Dull Frozen. And Pavlov. We're going to discard a Northstallen. Did he forget the Rosa trigger? Yep, there it is. Okay, there it is. It's like, all right, now that that's resolved. Oh, and it's the... Ooh, that was a terrible whale sound. I'm sorry, everyone. And it's going to ping off the Luso. What a hit. When HoodsClaw was missing, Ghoul is just dipping because... Yeah, and Bismarck's just going to bounce the lock back. Oh, my God. What a hit. What a turn. What a hit. I thought HoodsClaw was firmly in control of this. And that turn, it's just the lock, right? And especially when you get to play a Bismarck for free off of Rosa. Like, I mean, other than, like, Tyro, can you ask to play a better card? The lock itself, of course, but... Unreal. Unreal. And with the Althea down, he's not... I mean, of course, he's got cards like Asura, the Rosa to reactivate it, but it's not going to be easy here. All right, we pitched an Althea and tapped the Stiltskin to put out Lulu. Lulu got us back Asura. We now pitched another Lulu and tapped the Northstallen. We are going to Typhon on the Bismarck. He's like, yeah, I'm not... yeah, you Typhon my Bismarck? Well, I'm not going to Typhon your Bismarck. Presumably, we're going to Asura. This is the 3rd cast, so we'll reactivate our backups off Rosa. Asura will get us back the Luso, and if we remember, the Lulu will target the Rosa. Although we do have our green backup open, so we can prevent that if we'd like. Can we get to cast 7 territory? I feel like we can. Here's Luso, yep. There's a 4th cast, draw a card. Oh, this deck just goes so deep. Althea back. Did he point to Lulu? Not Luso? I mean, it's just a rose on the board, right? So I guess we don't really care about board wiping that. So this should be the 5th cast, if my math is correct. Or is this the 4th? Was Luso the 3rd? No, Luso was the 4th. So now we'll see if we can reveal our own Bismarck. I wonder if Ghoul's just like surfing online right now while his opponent's just playing Solitaire. I wonder if they're just trading that back and forth. So, yep. So there's Chocobo. All right. Sorry about that. I had to do a quick catch. It's kind of nice. I can just jump into these games and comment. That was the 5th cast for Rosa. We hit our own Bismarck. I missed the hype moment, but yep, it is Bismarck. We will cast Chocobo for the 6th cast. Bring Luso back to our hands. We can play Luso. We can just wipe this Rose off the board. And then, I mean, we got to start attacking at some point, right? Hoods has drawn so many cards. I feel like he's going to deck out first. Here's Luso. 7th cast. Rosa's dead. We're going to draw again. Bismarck and Ash are going to draw at the end of the turn. I mean, he needs an Alua Shoal or something to just knock this game out before that lock comes down for more, because there's Chocolate. There's a 5th backup. Oh, interesting. We didn't replay Althea. So we're out of Althea at this point. Well, I guess Bismarck can bounce something back, actually, so never mind. We're not 100% locked out of it. Are we finally going to attack with HoodsClaw's cards? He's got 2. We know... Oops. Saw looked like he had a Lulu in hand. I don't think he meant to show the camera. I think he was trying to show, oh, Typhon and Locke were the cards you knew about. But he did accidentally flash the camera there for a minute. Attack with Ash. Holy cow, are we actually going to deal a point of damage? Yes, we are. Don't let it be an EX burst. Okay, it's a Norse-Dalen. Not that I'm rooting against you, Daniel, but it just, that would feel, after all that, be like, bling, Tyro. I don't even remember what can attack. Obviously, Luso and Lulu can't, nor can Bismarck. Rosa, I think, could if it wanted to. Yep, we'll bounce. All right. Ghoul is going to use the Tilica effect, put down Lulu for 2. Lulu got back Asura. Then we're going to cast Rosa. This will be the 2nd cast. We'll get back 2 backups. Rosa's, of course, going to try to get us 3. We are going to try to just ping off the Rosa right now while the backups are down. This is smart. This is very smart because it's saying, hey, if you want to keep her alive, you're going to have to pitch another card from hand. Now, this is Wind Earth, so maybe he won't even care about that. Maybe he's like, meh, whatever. That's not, but it might. It might be just enough to mess up his play. Say, hey, you've got to pitch a... Yep, so he's going to pitch a Sura. Interesting. Do we have another one? Or do we have a Chocobo to, like, Lulu get it back again? Yep, so Rosa is protected. All right, 3rd cast. Just like last time, we are casting Lock. Rosa is going to attempt to reactivate all of our backups. Lock, of course, is going to try to Dull Freeze and discard. If we have Athena, we can stop one of these triggers. So here's my concern for HoodsClaw. They did count decks in one of the snippets, and Hoods is way lower on deck count. Absolutely lower. And like, he can do these draw shenanigans and the Luso stuff forever. He can keep wiping these boards. I have no issue with that. But at some point, he has to push him for damage. He has to find a way to actually win this match. Like, you can play Solitaire till the cows come home, but yeah, at some point, okay, he's going to discard his own Rosa to protect her from getting Dull Frozen. Or no. No, that was just a discard for Lock. I'm crazy because he obviously froze 2 backups. So yeah, at some point, Hoods has to find a way to push for lethal in this match because he is going to deck. There's no way that Ghoul decks out before he does. Althea is going to bring back Lock. Replay the Althea. Lock's coming down. This is the 5th cast for Rosa. Are we going to get another Bismarck off the top? Do we have Athena in hand? 2 locks in 1 turn. It's just this stuff is just gross, folks. Like, why can you do this? And it's not like, again, this is costing him everything. It's like, oh yeah, this is easy. This is no big deal. God, Althea drives me insane. Imagine how much harder all this would be simply without Althea. You'd still have Chocobo and Asura and Rosa and Atomos and all that nonsense. Just take it all away. Whatever. Anyway, so Althea is brought back down Lock. Yep, looks like it's going through. We're going to lose another 2 backups and have to discard another card from hand. Flip off the top, Rydia. Fortunately, our backup line is full. Maybe one day if they ever expand it beyond 5 backups, we could, we'll see some insane free Rydias off the top as backup number 8. But Hoods opts to throw away Zidane. I don't know what else he had in hand. He must value it because I really like that card. Getting to take away whatever is left on Ghoul's turn seems somewhat value to me, and at least just scouting his hand for anything. So he must really value what else he has in his hand. It's also possible he has another one because I don't think I've really seen his Zidane this round. I know we saw one, but I think that was the last game. I don't think we've seen one this round yet. And folks, these are the kind of matches, this is the reason why they have time limits normally. We did have 4 Bold Dull Frozen backups, however, we immediately started with Asura to reactivate all of our backups. And we've got a Lulu in hand, so we can just get that back and just do it over and over and over again. The advent of summons being able to just be reused and abused the way they have, kind of starting in Opus, I guess Opus 12 Cryo was really the big one that did that. If someone can think of one beforehand, feel free to let me know in the comments, but that's the big one. So here comes Y'shtola. That's cast 2. Y'shtola will help us cancel possibly some fun stuff in the future. I know we have Lulu we can do for the 3rd cast. Did we just draw something? What would we have drawn for? Oh, I think he was pointing to the fact that, hey, you bounced Lock last turn. My Bismarck should have seen that. That must have been what it was for. And I believe that's a mandatory trigger on Bismarck, so he had to have drawn a card there. And that will be my assumption. We have an Ochu. The reactivation will go to waste if we do it right this moment because of Rosa pitching Typhon. Here's Lulu. That's the 3rd cast. Get everything back. I mean, again, like, he's got... What else do you do, though? Like, surely you're running out of forwards to play at this point. I mean, Bismarck can just try to ping down the world, but how do you win? How do you turn this into actually winning the game? There's Chocobo. Going for a Luso play is probably... If we can bounce just Luso and get the board wipe, and everything else can attack 1, 2, 3, 4... attacker. I mean, at least we're then putting pressure on, right? Okay, here's Ochu. That's number 4. Right? And that gets us back. Look at this board. Oh, look at all these win cards. Again, like, okay, you can hit 5 for Rosa. What's she going to flip over? Yeah, he's showing what can and can't attack this turn. I mean, we can Bismarck ping for days. We can even stack on top of the Fiona if we want. Here's Chocobo. Chocobo on Luso. Do we have a response to this? Yep. So that should be cast number 5. So we draw 2. We draw Chocobo. We draw Bismarck. Okay, Rosa revealed a fat Chocobo backup. Couldn't play that onto the field. We used our Chocolate counters to draw a card. I'll be honest, I mean, I haven't even been keeping track of the counter, so I have no clue how much he has or doesn't have. I don't think he has any right now. Then it looks like Lulu at some point set Lock to 5 because we dulled 2 forwards to ping off Lock, and I believe we're at 7, or are we at 6? So much has happened now, and all right, so we dulled Luso to ping something, I believe. We're finally attacking. Here comes Typhon. Here comes Big Bad Bismarck. Big Bad Bismarck. Hitting our opponent's Bismarck into damage. That's going to feel good. Here comes Rosa and Ash in a party attack. That's interesting. We will block with... Or did we just... No, I guess we just did the Bismarck ping. I thought they were doing a party attack. Looks like they Bismarck ping to finish off Lulu. Are we going to end step? Yeah, we drew for Ash. Okay, so we're in. We have 3 cards left, folks. I mean, is it just game right here? He has to hit him twice. We can block once with the Ochu. If Hoods has some kind of a Sur or something that can restand his forwards up. Because otherwise, Daniel just has to hit him 2 times. Has to get through for damage twice. He can hit him once with what's on board, and then the Ochu's going to come alive, so he has to get rid of the Ochu. But if he can get rid of this Ochu, assuming Hoods doesn't have a way to like stand up his forwards with a summon, we just win with the Atomos. Oh, we're on damage 3. Here comes Typhon. Is this going to be game? I can't believe it. I mean, he used so much of the Bismarck peeing in the attacks. Like, he either made a mistake and left himself wide open, or he's got a plan. He does have Y'shtola still, so Y'shtola will cancel the Typhon. Oh, but we can Althea it back, right? Cast 1 card this turn. So this is going to be our Atomos trigger. Still currently only have 2 attackers. The thing is, too, though, Hood's like, he has to work with what he has on board next turn. He's not gonna, he can't draw a single card. So it's got to just be pedal to the metal. Everyone attack, everyone attack. Looks like we're using Fiona. We're going to search. I mean, like a Titan would be amazing here. Yep. Okay. That's what we're going for. I'm assuming we still have enough to cast it. Well, that was the... Well, no, that wasn't a cast. So we've cast... Oh, okay. We're going to reactivate with the Atomos. Yep. That'll do it. I mean... Oh, and there's Fina. So we don't have Fina. We're out of Fina, right? Because I think I see the other 2 over there. I mean, it doesn't even, like, literally Titan is going to break so many forwards. It's going to deal him a point of damage, and then the game just ends. He's not even going to get another turn. So despite his best efforts... Well, no, maybe not. I guess he'll still get to draw 2 for turn, but his board's going to be empty, so what does it matter? Rosa... he forced the draw with the bounce on the Althea. Very clever. Very clever. Yeah, he forced the draw to force him to draw down to 2 cards left in deck. Titan's going to break everything on this board, sans like the Bismarck, but so many forwards are going to die, he's going to be forced to take a point of damage, and that's it. That is it. Wow, Daniel holds on. Incredible. I mean, until he got the lock, it was actually looking pretty bad for him. Hood's, I don't know. I guess he just needed to push sooner. Again, you can do all this draw shenanigans forever, but you've got to find a way to break through. Man, oh man. I mean, so many lines and triggers went off in these matches. Like, you could look back at anything and, I should have done this or I shouldn't have done this. Nothing overtly stood out to me that like, that was a huge misplayer. That was a huge this. Other than just like, yeah, obviously Hood needed to put the pressure on just a little sooner. But man, hell of a game, gents. I love you both. I enjoyed watching it. Hope you enjoyed having me bring it to you. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And until next time, take care.